Hey everyone, Prison Meddler here. Um, hold on guys. Well, I'm back with another album ranking, and it's gonna be Between the Buried and Me. Trying to see which one is episode of my 23. All right, episode 23 of my album ranking. So, yeah, today we're gonna do Between the Buried and Me. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded videos from this channel. I've been pretty busy lately. But now I'm back. And without further ado, let's get started with the ranking. Oh, just to remind y'all, I am excluding their cover album, The Anatomy of. It's really not, well, it is a studio album, but it's just a covers album, and it's just not really original material. So I will be excluding that. And for Parallax, I'm putting Parallax Hypersleep Dialogues and Parallax 2 Feature Sequence together, as well as Automata. Since Automata 1 and there's Automata 2, I am putting these two albums into one since they're all concept albums. And I just don't really see a point in separating them while ranking them. So yeah, for real this time, let's get started with the ranking. Okay, starting up with my least favorite at the 8th spot. It's going to have to be their 2015 album, Coma Ecliptic. Now, this album is actually really good, just so y'all know. But I just had to put this as my least favorite. Yes, this album does have a softer sound than their usual albums. Yes, there's still like harsh vocals on there. But I'm not saying, like I said before, I'm not saying this album was terrible or anything. It's kind of like, I mean, there's really nothing wrong with this album. It's just like, okay, whenever you hear like Between the Buried and Me, there's more like harsh vocals than clean vocals. As for this album, it's the exact opposite. There's more clean vocals than harsh vocals. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or anything. It's just, you know, but yes, it's a concept album. As y'all may notice, it's about some guy being stuck in a coma, journeying through the past lives. It was added that he faces or stay or move on to something better, which is pretty awesome. It's kind of interesting. According to, he decided to use clean vocals more. He felt like the tone of the song's being written. And I could see that, or I just always thought it tried to sound to be mainstream. I know it's a dumb thing to assume, but that's just me. So yeah, it's gonna be this album is probably gonna have to be my least favorite. But like I said before, it's a great album. Don't get me wrong. All right. Now on to the 7th place with my second least favorite is gonna be their second album, The Silent Circus. I think this album kind of got them some slightly more attention to it, but to me, it kind of feels like a recycled of their previous album. I know it's kind of. Why are you assuming that? Or no, I you know what? I take that back. It does have more like it's more technical than their previous album. It had more like grindcore stuff into it, and some deathcore on it as well. I see this album more as a metalcore album than a progressive type album. But No, this isn't a concept album, um, but it do have a lot of great songs like Lost Perfection, both A and B. Camilla Rhodes, that song is just weird. Mordecai, I believe that's what it's called. Um, Agda Digital Mud, can't even say that right. Um, yeah, there's a lot of great songs in there, but I just think that this deserves to be at the near bottom of my list, though. That's all I have to say for this one. But like I said before, it's a really great album. All right, the sixth place we got their debut album, which is their self-titled album. Um, like I said before, this is a great debut album. It's like I said, just like with the Silent Circus, it's more like metalcore than progressive metal. But yeah, it's just a really solid, great debut metalcore album. There's really nothing much to say here, but many people put this as their least favorite or consider this as their weakest album. I can understand why, but the reason why I prefer this album over Silent Circus and Coma Ecliptic, mainly because I just like the sound of it and the vocals. There's really nothing much to say here for this one. But it's really nothing special about this album, though. But I do think this is a solid album. All right, number 5, we got Alaska. Now, this album is whenever they start to become more aggressive. This is when I start to consider them as a progressive band. Now, it's all, but this I do think this album is more of an improvement over their first two albums. Excuse me, and but it does have some memorable songs on there, like All Bodies, the title track, Selkies or Selkies, The Endless Obsession, Backwards Marathon, and Autodidact or whatever, or Autodidact, I believe that's what it's called. But yeah, it's really a great album, though. It's really nothing else to say here, but this is the album when they start becoming progressive metal, but they still kept their like metalcore stuff into it. Um, that's really nothing much to say here. Just a fantastic album. All right, top 4. Number 4, we got their latest release, Automata. Um, as y'all may know, this is actually a double album, but like I said before, I'm putting this into one album mainly because Automata 1 has 6 songs and Automata 2 has 4 songs. And I just don't really, like I said before, I just don't really see the point in spreading them out. But yeah, the reason why I like this album much more than Coma Ecliptic is mainly because it sounded heavy. They brought back their heaviness, but it's still their concept album, though. I just really enjoy this album a lot. Yes, there's more clean vocals than harsh vocals on this album, but it's a really great album, though. Don't it just sounds like they're I don't want to spoil much. I'm gonna save it till later, but you should get what I mean, though. But yeah, A really great album, guys. If you haven't listened to some, you should probably check that out. Um, definitely, I do think this definitely belongs in my top five. All right, number three, we got The Great Misdirect. Um, now, just like their previous album, Colors, this is a concept album, and it does not sound like an album to me. It sounds like just all in one song with different transitions. I can't really tell my favorite track on there because this album only has 6 songs, but it's not like an EP or anything. This album is like about an hour or so, and the last song, "Swim to the Moon," is like almost 20 minutes. So yeah, um, this is like I do think this is one of their best albums. Um, yeah, it's just it has like some different transitions. Really hard to explain though, but yeah, it's very heavy, very experimental. Um, what else? There's really nothing else I have to say here. Especially the song "Swim to the Moon," which is like nearly 20 minutes, which is wow. I have never heard a great song like that in my life, in my 23 years of life. But yeah, um, yeah, I do think this is a really great album. Probably definitely a future classic for sure. All right, number two, we have Parallax. Um, like I said, I'm doing Parallax into one. Um, this I love this album. It has like a lot of stuff into it, like many types of. It has more like 70s progressive rock, jazz fusion. It just has like a lot of different types of music on there. And yes, this is a concept album. Um, yes, it does have like a lot of interlude. It's pretty much like it's like you're watching a movie or some play or some kind of musical or something like that, and it's just I don't know what to say with this album. It's kind of like some opera or some shit like that, but yeah, this is an amazing album. I have not heard an album like this before. Very technical. Um, from it start off with like soft, like you want to go to sleep, and then they become heavy as they can possibly be. You know, um, yeah, just read the concept, read the lyrics. It's kind of like some kind of story or something. It's like they should make a movie about it. It's very interesting though. All right. Number one. Let's make y'all guess. Hmm. Oh, okay. You know what? Fuck that. My favorite album at number one is Colors. Holy shit. This album is amazing. This is one of my favorite progressive or metalcore albums of all time. This album is just I don't know, man. Um there's nothing else to say. This is definitely yes, this is just like with The Great Misdirect. This album sounds like it's all into one song, and I have nothing else to say about this album, dude. It's just perfect. Especially White Walls, that song White Walls. Wow, and Ants of the Sky? Are you serious? Prequel to the sequel? I mean, if you haven't listened to this album, you definitely want to check this album out. You're not going to regret listening to this album. You're not. Sounds like a 30-minute album to me. Not a. This album was like over an hour long, and it does not sound that long to me. That's how good of this album is. Yeah, there's really nothing much I have to say about this album. This album is a masterpiece for sure. This is probably one of my favorite metal albums ever. Like probably my top 10. It's that good. It's like a masterpiece to me. All right, guys. This is my album ranking for Between the Buried and Me, and please tell me what's yours. And the next album I'm going to rank would either be System of a Down or Bullet for My Valentine, but I will most likely do System of a Down next. So, yeah. Until next time, peace out, stay safe, and have a great day. Peace out, everyone.